What is up guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Dr. Hammerstang and today I'm going to talk about my review here of the OnePlus 12, the phone that I've been using for the past 2 to 3 weeks as my daily driver over here, and I do want to share with you guys to hopefully help you to make your purchase decision when you're going to choose this phone. And of course in this type of videos I like to break it down into 4 main segments over here. So without further ado, let's just get right into it. Alright, so before I go any further, let's talk about the price on this. So here in Malaysia, the OnePlus 12 does go for 45.99 ringgit Malaysia, which would place it at about the $1,000 mark. So that means, yes, it's a full-on flagship phone, not what we call the flagship unaliver. It is full-on a flagship phone. Last time I remember we can get phones for about $500 or $400 for a OnePlus phone. Nowadays, it's a $1,000 phone. So that is very expensive. So we had to look at it from a full-on flagship phone. And in the first segment over here, I'm going to talk about is the holding experience. So as you would see, on my hand over here, I do have a phone case. And here in Malaysia, we do not have a phone case right off the box, which is a huge bummer when it comes to this type of phones, because we don't have the protection that we need right off the box over here. You have to go out and buy it. And actually OnePlus is quite hard to get the case here in Malaysia unless you buy the official ones. So you have to buy it like from Shopee and you have to ship it like maybe 1 to 2 weeks before you get your phone. So that's one thing that I would say is a cutoff point and a sort of a negative when you're buying this phone. Second thing is, of course, there is no charger when you buy this phone. So for 45.99 ringgit, they can't give you a super VOOC charger. I'm not asking you to give us a 100 watt, the ones that support this phone. You can give us a 66 watt super VOOC charger. I would totally understand it. Just a normal super VOOC charger, I would say, is already sufficient enough for this price point. So over here, that is two things that is, of course, you have to consider. Of course, you have to look at your local market. From what I know, people from India or whatsoever have their chargers right out of the box, but here in Malaysia we don't have one. And of course I would do think that most of the countries might have similar issues here with the OnePlus 12. So going on to other things over here, let's talk about just the build design, how the phone would feel on your hand on a daily basis, and I can say is that it feels really good. That's what she said. So what I like about here is, of course, the smoothness that comes over here, the matte finish on this. Yes, it is quite slippery, so without a phone case, you might drop it over here, but I really do like the anti-fingerprint that you get this phone, because you don't have to be constantly wiping your phone to get off the fingerprints. It works really, really nice. I did wish that they've given us back the sandstone back cover over here to give us a little bit more gripness to holding this phone over here. But what it does help here in terms of the back is, of course, the huge camera bump. So when I'm holding this phone, it does give me some support for my finger here when I'm scrolling through my social media. So that is, of course, really something nice to have on this phone right here. And of course, like I mentioned, the logo all looks really nice. You have some nice curve on the sides here to give you some comfortable feel on your hands. Going on to the front here, I do like the subtle curve that we have on the front display. It's not as aggressive as, like, I would say the OnePlus 7 or the OnePlus 8 especially. This one here is a little bit more subtle when it comes to the more curved display on this. So it does give you that futuristic look, but I did wish that they've just gone away with it and given us a flat display. But of course, that also would mean that you get a large display, which we will talk about in the next segment. And of course, it does give you a very, very long phone. So one thing that I do struggle a little bit here is, of course, when I'm reaching for the optical scanner on the bottom over here, it's a little bit lower than I would prefer. So I had to actually go down and sometimes have to press it 2 to 3 times to register my finger to unlock my phone. Of course, if you don't want to use that, you can use your face unlock over here. Nowadays, we're not going to wear our face mask anyway, so it works really, really fast on the go, so you don't have to worry about it. But of course, if you're making some payments and you need your fingerprint, it is a little bit of a hassle reaching all the way on the bottom. Other than that, I would say the overall build and design feels very, very premium indeed. You have the glass on the back and also the Victus 2 on the front and the Victus 1, if not mistaken. And of course, on the frame here, we have your aluminum frame. So it overall gives you a very, very good premium feel when it comes to this phone. So overall, the holding experience on this, I would give a solid 8.5 out of 10. Okay, so next segment over here I'll talk about is of course the viewing experience, and that will cover the display, the speakers, and also the haptics. So quickly a go through over here, a run through the display and speakers, and of course the haptics on this are all really good as you would expect from a flagship phone. Bright colors, good and loud clear speakers, and haptics as well when you're playing games or going through your buttons or whatsoever. The feedback on this is really nice. One thing I want to talk about here when it comes to the display, which is special, which I don't see in any other phones, is of course the Aqua Touch technology that we have over here. So that would mean that even though you have some water droplets on your phone over here, you would still be able to use your phone as normal as you can. And that is something I really notice on this phone over here, because sometimes when I'm playing my sports or washing my hands or just got out from the shower and you get some water droplets on around this phone, I can still go through my social media. I can still kind of unlock my phone. I can still just scroll to the sides here, left and right, check out my notification. Of course, you will get some little bit of some stutters here and there, but overall I still like this technology, which I think more phones should implement on a more flagship basis and even on any phone model over here. So that's one thing I really like about the display of this phone compared to many other flagship phones, because if you compare about the display, speakers, and haptics, it's really hard to nitpick one, but I do like the extra technology that we have over here. So for this, the viewing experience on this, I would give it a solid 8.5 out of 10. And of course, next thing over here I'll talk about is the user experience. So basically how the phone performs on a daily basis. So that will cover the hardware and software side of things. So hardware wise, as you would expect, it's all packed with really great stuff. We have the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, we have 12 gigs of RAM, and of course a huge battery over here, 5000. And of course we have the Super Vogue charger over here. I do not have the 100 watts because I have to go out and buy it, and not many of my other phones actually use it, so I don't have it. But I do have the 67 watt Super Vogue charger, and that is of course really helpful. I was mentioned before, when it comes to this kind of proprietary chargers, you have to bring it around with you. For me, I just leave it at my office because I can use my phone here for more than a day. So if I go to work at about 9 a.m, I just charge it up to about 100%. I can use it until the next day at about 9 a.m, and still I do have about 20 to 30%. So what I need to do is just plug it in really fast, do my work or whatsoever. Within about 15 to 20 minutes, I already get about 80% of battery left. So I don't have to worry about the battery and charging on this. I don't leave it overnight to charge it as well, so I don't have to worry about maybe having some harmful effects on the battery over here. So it works really nice, and of course we do have wireless charging as well. So in case if you want the extra juice, you can actually use it on your car charger or on any other wireless charger on the go as well. And also it does support your fast wireless charging, which I really do like, but of course again, you have to buy this separately from your normal wireless charger if you want to fully utilize that technology. Other than that, I would say the software experience is what you would expect from a OnePlus phone. You have your clean software, but of course with the Oppo kind of touch with this, we have some other added features with this, some side panel features, which I would say is actually really nice, because we still have that kind of half OnePlus feel, and of course we do have some other 30% or some added features which I actually really do like. Of course, when it comes to the app gallery, the AI features here are really nice. The AI features I would say on this isn't as great as you would expect from like a Samsung phone, because some things like you want to press the button to kind of Google search or whatsoever when you're going through Facebook or whatsoever. I want to see and want to check out other things. You don't really have that on this, which is a little bit of a hit and miss. But overall, if you do want to use the AI features on this, it still works really nice and efficient at the end of the day. So for this, the user experience on this, I will give it a solid, again, 8.5 out of 10. And of course, last but not least, let's talk about the cameras that comes with this phone. So this again is where OnePlus usually kind of falls compared to many other flagship phones. And of course, we have to compare this to the likes of the Huawei P70, we have to compare this to the S24's, and of course, many other phones like the iPhone 15 as well. And I would say that it isn't the best. It can't really compete with, of course, those levels, but it is kind of nearby there. You would notice more of the problems when you are using it for your video taking over here. For some reason, it looks really nice when you're taking video, but when you're just viewing it back into your gallery, it does look pretty washed out and it doesn't look as nice and as flagship feel as you would want to at the end of the day. Of course, again, like I mentioned, other than that, photo taking with plenty of sunlight works really nice. Portraits and all this look also really good, but it doesn't look that extra crispy that I would like when it comes to my flagship phones. Of course, maybe they want to give it a little bit more of the natural look with the Hasselblad kind of calibration over here. But I did wish they'd given us a little bit more, some punchiness, some extra edge detection, some extra bokeh effect when it comes to their cameras over here. Of course, I'll share with you some of my photos that I've taken with this phone over here for you guys to judge it for yourself, and let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about the cameras over here. So overall, I would say the camera experience on this is a solid 7 out of 10. So that is it with my review here of the OnePlus 12. Overall, I really like this phone. Very stable, very clean, and something that I always do like when I'm using my OnePlus phone. So of course, this is a phone company that I've always liked to go back to because it brings a lot of back on some memories. And I would say this phone here is really nice for me personally. Of course, if you guys are into the camera side of things, you might want to look at other things like the Google Pixels or the S24s or the other brands I mentioned. It still works really nice, but of course, if you want to use a good phone with great battery life, you want a great speaker, great display, with of course decent cameras, I think this phone over here fits the bill just nice over here. So then of course, these are just my thoughts and my opinions. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about the OnePlus 12. And of course, if you guys are planning to get one. Of course, if you guys enjoyed this video, do click the like and smash that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next one.